So although I did give you negative 72 again, hopefully you already looked back at our notes and saw none of these are gonna get us to 6, okay? If you look at those numbers. So obviously it's a factor we hadn't even gotten to yet. Now, is 72 gonna be divisible by 5? No. So the next number you would check would have to be 6. And the opposite of 6 would be 12, or 6 and negative 12. And so therefore this would be the set we need. And so therefore x plus 12 and x minus 6 is the answer we want for this one. So now I got a new page, need a new page. So, sorry, before we go, we had a positive middle term and a negative outer term. Let's talk about what that pattern looks like. X squared plus bx minus c. So what happened with that? Well, it happened that we had a positive value and a negative value. And so when we are multiplying to a negative number, and adding to a positive number, it will require one factor of each sign. Be careful that the middle term adds up correctly. So when we multiply to a negative number but add to a positive number, it's going to require one of each factor to be a different sign, and we just have to make sure that middle term is added to correctly. So number 12, the last type of pattern. So we've had positive, positive, negative, positive, now positive, negative. Last but not least is negative, negative. So x squared minus 2x minus 15. So what does that mean? We need factors of negative 15 that add to negative 2. Okay, well, how are we going to find factors of a negative number that add to a negative number? Well, it's actually going to be the same pattern as the last one. Because we're multiplying to a negative, you have to have one of each. Now we just have to make sure that the middle term is negative. So we're still going to have one of each. So looking at our factors, we have negative 1, positive 15, 1, negative 15. Not going to work. Negative 3, 5, 3, negative 5. Well, which one's going to work? This one, when added together, will give me negative 2. So therefore, my answer is x plus 3, x minus 5. So just like the last one, you're going to have one of each, but now we want to make sure the middle term is negative. Number 13, x squared minus 3x minus 28. Give you a second to think about those factors. So factors of negative 28 that add to negative 3. Now, when you do your homework, it is not required that you write down this information. It isn't. Okay, it's simply required that you have the answer. So, does it help you to write down the factors? Go ahead, write it down. Okay. But it is not required. It is not a work piece that I will be looking for in your final answer. It's just simply, do you have the right answer or not? So for number 13, your correct answer would be x plus 4 and x minus 7. Or you could have written x minus 7, x plus 4. Again, order doesn't matter as long as the correct sign is listed, okay? And then let's try number 14. X squared minus x minus 56. So give you a second to think about those factors. And again, when you're looking at a smaller middle term, you want to think that your factors have to be closer together. So thinking about factors that are close together with 56, that would add to a negative number would be positive 7 and negative 8. Okay. And so again, let's talk about our last pattern. X squared minus bx minus c would mean that you have a positive answer and a negative answer, and it's going to be the exact same justification as above. Same as x squared plus bx minus c, except now the middle term is negative. So it's the same thing that you're multiplying to a negative, but you're adding to a negative term, and so you have one of each. It will require one factor of each sign. So it's the same thing, that it will require one factor of each sign. The middle term is now just negative.